started it.
I know you did. Why do you have to do that? We're literally going to sit in here and be like, alright, what are we going to talk about?
Yeah. Well, we figured out one.
Yeah, but like... whatever. Introduce it.
Alright. Me. You.
I didn't say warm up. I said intro.
I am so sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to CastPod episode.
I'm not gonna help you on that.
Alright, hold on. I'm gonna guess 9.
Alright. Even if it's not, this one's gonna be titled 9.
Oh well. I'm Kevin, and on the poop deck is Callum.
Hello. That's me. I squirted in my mouth.
Yes, you did.
With a water bottle, to be spit. Anyway, so today, we decided we'd talk about something topical, at least in our lives.
And probably most people.
Did you just assume their education?
I just assumed their education.
We're talking about college and moving in, being a freshman, being an upperclassman, just general stuff. We've touched on it before, but today was freshman move-in day at our school. Yeah. We have both been here for a week for separate reasons. But, yeah, it's just fun to see all the new kids move in and whatever. And I thought we'd talk about that kind of stuff, you know, as two people who have been through it, who are halfway through college. And,
ew, we're old.
Yeah. Still yeah, we are. So, yeah. Any initial thoughts that you would like to share with the class?
7.
Alright, well...
I was actually kind of hoping we could just be like, breaking the whole when we actually record thing. Like, we haven't actually recorded in about 2 weeks, I would say.
Yeah, that's about right.
So, in, those 2 weeks, just kind of... how have they been? Just kind of small little stuff.
Yeah.
Alright.
I thought I'd go really quiet to see if the recording would pick up your drinking sounds. But...
yeah, I am quite the gulper.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Do you remember your freshman move-in?
Yeah, I do.
I remember bits and pieces of mine. I was actually talking about this with some other people earlier.
Right.
It's like, I remember meeting my roommate. I remember going to hang out with you and running to one of your roommates.
Yep.
And that's really it.
Well, my freshman move-in was different because I moved in early for sports.
Sports.
Yeah, all of them, actually. But, so I was in there a week earlier than most people. Like, obviously other sports people were there, but I was, one of very few freshmen to move in, at least for the team I was on. And
oh, yeah, because the area was freshman only. Our area of the building was freshman only.
Yeah, the whole hall and pretty much, the half of that building is purely freshmen. But the hall I was in was all, honors students, and none of them were on a sports team.
Bunch of nerds.
Yeah, so it was literally me, all by myself in half of a building, other than 2 RAs that I didn't really speak to. I didn't speak to either of them for a while, so...
I was gonna say, and still iffy on.
Yeah. So I moved in, got in okay. Well, I didn't have an ID for, the first full week, because I didn't know they had already been handed out, so I had to go through a really long, annoying way to get in the building. But I moved all my stuff in, and it was actually, it sounds really boring, but it was really enjoyable having,
no one around?
Yeah, there was, no one around. If I didn't go and, have meals with the teams, and then I wasn't at practice, it was, no one was nearby.
You pretty much got free reign to do whatever you wanted.
Yeah, I was basically, alone in this school building, where I could just, hang out. And it
Yeah.
was really nice because, like, I could just travel around the campus and learn where all the
Where things
buildings
are.
are. Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
just kind of, like, do my own thing. And that was a lot of fun. But it was cool. It was especially good because as soon as, like, the other freshmen moved in,
You,
I was, like, an expert,
you're
you
like,
know?
I already know where this is, this is, this is.
Yeah, so, like, people are like, oh, where's this thing? And I'm like, oh, I got you. Or they're like, oh, it's whatever. Like, if they had any questions, it's like I'd already lived
Where's
here.
the dining hall?
Yeah, I'd already lived here for a week, so I could just be like, oh, yeah, it's fine. So I wasn't one of those, like, freshly in, like, I don't know where to go. I need a map to find my way around. And
I still need a map for some classes.
yeah, I mean, some places are pretty hidden still. But,
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah, it was really fun, my move in. And then helping my roommates move in, hang out with them. It was a good time, those first, like, week or two of freshman year.
Yeah,
Because
they weren't bad.
I really liked the whole, like, getting to see, like, new people. And it's like, these are the people I'm going to spend, like, a year or more of my life with. Like, all the
Yeah.
people in your hall and your roommates, like, as long as they're good, you know, you just get to, like, I don't know, do new stuff. Be, like, a whole new person. Yeah.
That's nice of you to say.
All right, Mr. Sarcastic Susan. Let me hear
Sarcastic
about.
Susan?
Yeah, that's right.
Who says that?
I do. I just read a thing about Larry Longlegs, so I had it on my mind.
So your first thought was Sarcastic Susan?
Yeah, that's right. Alliteration is niche. Now tell me about your move-in.
Alright. I remember not filling up this car completely. I remember my mom complaining to me that I haven't talked to my roommate yet.
Yeah.
Did you talk to your roommates before moving?
I wasn't going to, but one of them actually messaged me.
Oh yeah, because
And
you
was
lived in
just
a
like-
4-man, like, 2-room suite.
Yeah, so two of them had zero contact with, and one of them, they messaged me and basically was like, hey, I've got a TV that I can bring in. Do you have like a rug or something? Which was stupid because the building was carpeted.
Yeah.
And all the rooms were carpeted. So I was like, yeah, I can bring a rug. And then I got there and there was a carpet and I'm like, what's the point of this? And I kept the rug there anyways, but all it did was just get dirty. I was like,
Yeah.
great. I never even used his stinking TV.
Really? Played a lot of Super Smash Bros. At the beginning.
Yeah, but like
That's about it.
we used other people's stuff for a lot of
Afterwards.
it too. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, didn't talk to my roommate at all beforehand.
Yep.
I met him, like, when we first met him, walked in. I was like, alright. He got here a couple minutes before I did, so he already claimed his bed and desk and stuff. And I'm like, seems cool kid. Was a pretty cool kid, but it was just like, it was kind of weird, because we don't live too far from our school. We live far enough that we can't really commute every day.
Yeah.
He lived closer than we live, so it was just like, I honestly would have thought you would have been a commuter.
Yep.
But okay, not like, I don't really have a problem with it.
Yeah.
And like, there was literally like, no contact beforehand. So, for whatever we brought up, it was just a crapshoot.
Nice.
And then he like went to a party in his hometown for like, his good friend was throwing or something. And he pretty much like left for the entire weekend. So I was kind of just like, alright, I have a roommate. And we have to go to this event, this event, this event, and this event. Now, I'm not like usually like on the side of gotta attend everything, gotta make sure I'm on time, I could be late. And I really wasn't, because usually during the first time when it's just freshmen at school, they'll have certain activities for them to do and stuff like that. Sure, I slept through a couple of them. Oops. But it's just like, my like roommate didn't show up for any of them. And I'm just like, this is weird.
Yeah.
Like, you go to college, first time away from home. Well, really away from home. And you just go back home, basically.
Yeah. I was actually going to mention that because it's like I was talking to some of the freshmen today and like
From your team?
Yeah, they're asking me like, hey, do I have to go to all these meetings and things? Like, is it actually necessary? Like, I don't want to go to any of this stuff. Like, what should I actually go to? And like, a couple other people were like, man, I didn't go to any of those. They're dumb, whatever. And I was like, I would at least go to like one or two, like the convocation
Yeah.
at least, which like basically you are officially a student here. So it's like, why skip that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But like some of the other events, I can understand skipping because like I definitely missed at least one or two.
Yeah.
Just because I was like
Tired.
I was kind of tired. Hardly anyone else was going to them, and like the information I already knew. So it was like I'm just gonna sit in here for an hour and listen to stuff that I know. So it's like I didn't recommend that they go to all of them, but I did suggest that like you should go to a couple just because it's a good way to like get to know some things on campus, like school wise, see teachers that you might have, and then see like your class. Like,
Yeah. See the people that you'll be attending different classes with for the
Yeah.
next 4 years, basically.
I can't think of a better time that you will see like the entire like that large of a number of your class in one place. Like if
Graduation. No, not even graduation because people transfer, people drop out.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're really gonna start getting to know people at graduation.
Yeah.
That's great. Good advice. So if you're ever going to college,
Only
and
talk to people at graduation.
you want to get to know people, wait until graduation and then start up some conversations. Learn about your classmates.
Yep.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
But seriously, like, you basically see everyone in your grade at these, like, initial events. So, like, go to them, meet people, see people, and then, like, say, like, oh, I saw you, like, in classes in the future. Be like, oh, I saw you at that one thing you did, whatever, haha. I don't know. It's just, like, I don't know why you would skip, like, an opportunity to meet some, like, potential friends or whatever.
Yeah, it's like I didn't really do it a lot our freshman move in, like try and like find new friends and stuff like that. Because I was like, Callum, like I haven't hung out with Callum in a while, so I'm like, and we're already buddies, so I'm like, I'll go hang out with him. Like, and
Yeah.
then we'll eventually go around and meet other people together.
Yeah.
Because if it's just like I feel like if it was just one of us meeting people, and like not like hall event or something, it would just get really weird really fast because we bounce off each other pretty well. I would like to think.
Yeah.
So if we're just talking to this new person, it's like, so where do you come from?
Yeah.
Where do you go?
I mean, I was okay with it in the beginning because, like I said, I'd been there for a week and I already had like a set group of friends thanks to being on the sports team.
Yeah.
Like I knew seniors and juniors, like all these people in my grade, so like I could walk around campus in like the first few days and just like say hey to people and whatever. Like I knew people, so it was like I was totally fine like walking up to someone or like sitting down at a table and being like, "Hey, how's it going? I'm whatever." Or then like seeing people in the hall and being like, "Hey, how's it going?" Cuz it's like I've been introduced I feel like I'm
You've already
comfortable
started
enough.
introducing people.
Yeah, I've already like been introduced. I know people and
Yeah.
like I feel comfortable to just kind of be myself. So I don't have to like formally go up to someone, firmly shake their hand and be like, "Hello, how are you?"
Yeah.
You know?
I didn't really do that either. Like I know like I knew I wasn't gonna have any like problems with finding like talking to people,
Yeah.
but it was just gonna be like because a lot of them are gonna just be like, oh, do you know where the dining hall is or stuff like that, like.
Yeah.
And I would just be straight up like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I had no idea where it could be.
Yep.
But I remember actually meeting two of your three roommates. I kind of just died there.
Yeah, you're just gonna cut out.
But I remember moving day that you texted me, yo, come meet up with me when you're here. And like
Yeah.
all moved in. Which I'm just paraphrasing because I'm pretty sure you didn't say that exactly like that.
Probably not. But yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So I was like, cool. Went up the stairs because you lived a floor up from me. And, like, at the time, and it still happens, I noticed it a couple times today, people will quietly knock just a gentle, like, and
Yeah.
hope someone would hear, even though these, as thin as our walls are, the doors are very hard to hear through.
Yeah. Well, sometimes like if people are really knocking like in the hall, I can't tell what door it's on.
Yeah.
Like I can't tell if it's my door or the neighbor or like someone down the hall. Sometimes when people knock, so it's like the echo-ness gets to me. But yeah, as you were saying,
Yeah, but,
light knocking.
so yeah, I was like, kind of like, I was just thinking as I was walking to your door, I was just like, should I just knock and, like, be polite? But then I thought, nah, Callum's expecting me. I'm just gonna walk in.
Yeah.
So that's literally what I did. And I ran into, like, I pretty much just, like, opened the door, walked in, and I ran into your, like, direct roommate, like,
Yeah.
not sweet mate. And I was just like, hey, you're not Callum.
Nope.
And then he's like, he's in that room. And I was like, cool, thanks. And then I literally just walked in and, like,
Yeah, I remember.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, well, that was weird.
Yeah.
And then your other roommate, I remember meeting, who's our roommate Tom.
Yep.
Where, like, we were going to, like, a bonfire or something. Oh, I gotta see if that's happening this weekend. I just like bonfires.
I love bonfires. S'mores are great.
Oh, I love s'mores. I'm actually not a big fan of s'mores anymore. They're too, like, sweet for me. But I love roasting them.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
They're
I lost
too
my child.
sweet for your palate.
I know.
But yeah, no,
Yeah,
like
we
events.
met him at the bonfire. Well, I met him at the bonfire, basically, and just hung out with him
Yeah,
and talked.
events like that are great
Mhm.
because it's like you get to just kind of bond with people. Like especially in my first week with all those events, I went to everything with my roommates because I was like, in my head when they first move in, like it was a little awkward, and I feel like it's always gonna be like that. Like when roommates are moving in, you've like never spoken to each other, just don't know each other. It's like, hey, I'm gonna live with you for a year, and I've never met you before.
Yeah, it's like, let's hope this goes well.
Yeah, so it's like both people are kind of wary. They're like, oh, hey, you know, whatever, and they like just try to move in and like unpack everything before they really try to like start any conversations. But like the way I thought about it, like I still felt that kind of awkwardness when they moved in, but I'm like, I'm literally gonna live with these guys for like nearly a full year. So like I
have
need
to get used to it.
yeah, I need to like start talking to them and like go do stuff with them. So if I was ever going to the dining hall or was going to an event, I was like, hey guys, do you want to come along to this thing? And then go as a group, we chat, have fun, and it was like great. And it's like if you're gonna want to be friends with people, a roommate should be like a priority because you will spend the most time there because
Like-
you live with them.
Like, I can pretty easily say our original freshman year roommates, like, we weren't best friends with them,
No.
really.
No.
But we're good on good terms with them.
At least at the time,
Yeah.
we were like pretty good friends because we were like we didn't know anybody else but each other. So it was like we had this little group that we just like hung out and talked all the time. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I highly recommend
Just going out.
going out, go to the events, meet people, and befriend your roommates. Invite them along to like don't be like a loner in like the first week.
No.
If you're gonna do something,
Just do it.
invite somebody along.
Yeah.
Or like say, hey, I'm gonna go do this. Does anyone want to come or whatever? Unless it's like I don't know, you're going to the bathroom. Don't usually invite people to that.
Unless if you're a girl.
Yeah, girls do that. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like be social. That's the biggest thing. Is like people are like, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't want to have to deal with these people. Like, why? You got 4 years here. At least.
At least make one friend.
Like, do something. Talk to people.
I mean, we had a pretty big lounge in between our like areas and stuff.
Yep.
So we literally hung out there a good chunk of the time.
Yeah.
And that was pretty nice because it's out in the open by the stairs that lead to the exit.
Yep.
So people pretty much had to walk through there no matter what.
Yep.
So when you're like, when it's like that, you kind of have to socialize with people. It's like, oh, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
And I've actually noticed, like, this year I've kind of just been like, you know what? I've already been here for a week. I have all my stuff in the room, not unpacked, just in the room.
Yep.
And I'm just like, when I'm like walking around the halls and stuff like that, I'll just be like, hey, how's it going? And I'm like 10 steps later, I'm like, I have no idea who that was. Like, I'm just kind of like talking to people, be like,
Yeah.
this is like,
say hi.
especially like people that I know are like freshmen.
Yep.
Just be like, hey, this is actually a good environment.
Yep.
It's like,
well, it's the same thing. Is like sitting out in lounges and whatever. Like, do things in a more open environment.
Yeah.
Because like if you just sit in your room,
you're not gonna meet people.
no. Like,
That's why we weren't roommates freshman year.
random people don't just walk into your room and say, "Hi, nice to meet you," unless they're really creepy. That
Oh, yeah.
honestly could happen.
I only did it like 3 times.
Yeah. But like just go and do things.
Yeah.
That's just the main thing. Like there are plenty of other important things about college, like schoolwork and whatever, but like on a social aspect, like just talk to people, just be open and like
Yeah. And even if it's like, even if you have absolutely no idea who it is,
yeah,
like just at least offer to like help them. Like if like I helped like a bunch of random people like with just by holding doors for them and just basic stuff like that, and like just kind of being a nice guy and just like, oh wow, would you look at this?
yeah,
And like especially with like freshmen, I'm trying to be like extra friendly too, because usually their parents will be kind of worried about like, I don't know, this, are you ready for this, stuff like that.
right,
My dad's like, he's ready.
mm-hmm.
And my mom's like, eh.
Yeah,
But it's just like, and like now I pretty much went straight from vacation to here, and it was like, I was like, okay, bye parents, and they're like, all right, have fun, text us when you get there. So I texted them a couple hours after I got here because I forgot to text them.
Yep.
But then it's just like, it's kind of gets to like, I'm at the point where I don't like, my parents are like, he's already got this, we don't need to worry about him, he can unpack himself, and if not, he has friends to help him. Thanks, by
Right.
the way.
Yeah.
And so it's like, for all these people that are like still moving in with their parents, thinking, this is the first time I'm going to actually meet my roommates, just basic stuff like that. Just kind of be like warm and friendly to them.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, you need help with this? I'll help you. I've done this before.
Yep. It's definitely easier to socialize
Once
as
you're,
an upperclassman.
yeah,
Because the freshmen are gonna look to you for like advice and help and whatever, but they might not straight up ask for it because they're like nervous and whatever. They don't want to look stupid. Because
Yeah.
I felt the same way. I didn't want to ask too many questions or whatever and seem like I'm dumb and I don't know what I'm doing, even though I didn't know what I was doing. It's like you don't want to feel like that. So it's like, as an upperclassman, just like answer questions, just be open. That's what I do.
Yeah.
On my team, any freshmen are like, hey, like, what's up with this or whatever.
except our one buddy, when someone said that Callum was weird on the soccer team, and our one buddy is like, yeah, last year a freshman said that too. He's in the hospital now.
Yeah. Well, that's another thing.
Yeah, that's a story for another time.
Don't judge people. It's not nice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like today, I've literally, like, we've been here a week.
Yes.
Well, I've been here a week at least.
Yes.
I've rearranged a handful of rooms, and only one was mine.
Right.
Like, I've just been like, I rearranged an entire room, but that was with our friend. But like, I've just been like I'm pretty good friends with all the RAs in our building.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know them pretty well,
Right.
and I'm just like, all right. Oh, like when freshmen were moving in, I was like, I have nothing better to do. I'll go hang out with them because they have to be like out and about.
Yep.
And like, I helped just randomly give directions to people, or like someone needed help flipping, like raising their bed. So I was like, all right, I got you. Like just random basic stuff because I'm like, why not? And I like walked into the person's room and I'm like, hey, Kevin here, resident bed lifter, just like, don't mind me. And just like, being like, just opening like.
You just walked into a person's
No,
room and said,
no, I was with Mark.
resident.
I was with Mark. He tried to do it. He couldn't figure out how to do it. So I'm like, haha, lucky for us, we have experience lowering and raising beds.
Okay. Because I was like, there's being sociable and then there's just
That was
being
yeah, I
weird.
made that sound really creepy. I realize that now.
I just walked straight into this random room and I was like, I will lift your bed. And
No.
then the parents were terrified. I think the freshmen peed a little bit and
No.
they shooed me out. But, I tried next door and it worked out.
No. They came down to the RAs asking for help. One of the RAs went up and tried to help him, and he came back down, and he's just like, yeah, I can't do this. I need help. He's like, I need help. And I'm like, we lowered and raised beds earlier this semester already, even though semester hasn't even started yet.
Yep.
So I'm like, I got this, no problem, and helped him out.
My RA freshman year was not sociable. She did not talk to me
Oh yeah.
at all. And I was like, cool. Just a lonely freshman who lives next door to you. Doesn't know what they're doing. But yeah, you just hang out in your room and never come out ever.
You hang out in your room, I'll hang out in mine. We won't talk at all.
Yeah, that's how it was. Except for one time where like my sprinkler system in my room was like broken and falling out of the ceiling. So I was like, hey, so this is broken. And she was like, oh,
Just
I guess I can fill out a maintenance thing or something. And I was like, okay, thanks. And that was the only like contact I had with my RA for that first week or two. And then after that, she was like, hey, let's make hall events. Like after everybody moved in, I'm like, all right, cool. So like you just didn't care about me. Just putting on a show for everybody else. I see how it is.
Actually, something you said earlier made me think of this, and I just remembered it. But you were talking about like just going out, participating in hall events, and like you were kind of afraid to ask questions, to be afraid to be stupid and
Please
stuff like that.
tell me more.
No, our buddy Nick's an RA for an entire freshman floor.
Right.
And when he has like, he's gonna have to have the informational hall meeting where it's just like, all right, this is allowed, this is allowed, you can't do this on campus, basic stuff like that.
That is true.
And I plan on going to this event for his event, and just when he's like, any questions, I plan on just asking the stupid questions the freshmen won't think about. Like,
When is that?
I want to say tomorrow or the next day.
I kind of want to go to that too. So.
But just because like freshmen will be like, can I have actually a very common thing after talking to people. A very common thing asked if they could have on campus has been tasers. I don't know why tasers though.
People scare me.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, self-defense, but
Yeah.
I don't know why your first thought is taser. Most people around here have knives.
Yeah.
That also sounds
That
sketchy.
sounded really sketchy.
Most people here have knives. If you ever find someone on campus, they're probably hiding a knife.
Yeah. That and
But honestly, even though it sounds sketchy, it's like
we go to an agriculture school.
it's fairly true. Yeah.
And so it's like a lot of people have been like working on farms and stuff like that. So they just like
Sometimes you just need to kill a cow with your bare hands, So you always got to be prepared for that.
Yep. So people just carry knives on them because they need to kill a cow with their bare hands.
I don't know why, but I just like for a second I spaced out and I was like, wow, that sentence had cow and bear. in the same string of words. How
Yep.
funny is that?
That's
Like, I don't,
hilarious.
I have no idea, but I just like stared out the window and was just like, man, words are weird. And I was like, what am, what am I
Are you on
thinking?
drugs?
I might be, honestly. Had some of that parsley from earlier. Kind of looks like weed, and I was like, I think I'm high.
Our friend has a jar of parsley, and it's actually parsley. And it just happened to look like slightly suspiciously like weed. So it's just kind of like funny moment.
Yeah. I also wish that my water bottle was
Yeah.
full of lemonade, because,
Could really go for some.
yeah.
But as we were saying before you spaced out and went on your thing,
Yep.
going to an event for freshmen and
Yep.
just asking all the questions they won't really think about.
Yeah.
'Cause
Like,
it's
can
just-
I have a taser?
Yeah, like, can I have a taser?
How many people have knives?
It's like, you don't really ask that, but it's just like, what happened? Like, just kind of like simple stuff. Like, what happens if the light goes out in my room? Just like, very simple.
You turn it back on. Next question. I will answer those questions for you. You don't need to bring them up to a group. I am here for you.
I meant if the light bulb blues out.
Blues out. So yeah, any more Blues Clues related questions from Kevin?
No.
Dang. Is there a Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide for college?
No.
Dang.
They were actually supposed to go to high school, like,
They're a little old.
well, now they are. But, like, when they first, like, ended and they were, like, 8th grade and stuff,
Yeah.
it was originally supposed to go, like, there was talk about it going to high school.
Yeah, I remember that because they like showed bits and pieces of the high school, and I was like, that would be cool. And I also saw a thing. It wasn't like they're gonna do it, but they're like, wouldn't it be great if we did like they brought back Drake and Josh, but it was like them in college.
Yeah.
And be like, that would be cool, but that'll never happen.
I want, actually, speaking of things that Nickelodeon's bringing back,
Right.
Legends of the Hidden Temple. They're
Oh, I
making a
know.
movie out of it.
I know, and it makes me upset.
Really?
Yes.
I'm actually a little excited for it. Why
Have
are
you
you?
seen the trailer?
All right, trailer's not the best.
Which means the movie's not the best. Because the trailer is
I don't
bits
know.
and pieces of the movie.
I know that.
Because literally, they're
Alright.
taking a quality game show.
All right, I am not going to deny that. Probably
And-
my favorite Nickelodeon game show.
Yes, an amazing game show. They're taking that and turning it into like a fantasy movie, like Disney original type, like just it looks dumb. They're like taking like what was a game show and be like, but what if it was
was a
actually
movie.
like ancient mythology and like it wasn't just like a Mayan themed game show. What if it was like a secret Mayan mythological whatever and there's actually a hidden temple and Olmec is in there and the temple guards are
Olmec.
actually like real and you have to make the jade monkey. Like, no.
Silver Monkey.
I know. I was thinking of the teams, and I was about to say like
Green
purple-
Monkey.
Yeah,
Purple
green
parrots.
monkeys, purple parrots.
I can name all the teams still.
I'm
All right, you ready?
so proud of you.
I'm going to do it. Red Jaguars. Blue Barracudas. Green Monkeys. Orange Iguanas. Purple Parrots. Silver Snakes.
There you go. Like I said, so proud.
Yep.
But anyways,
That's the college education for you.
the movie looks like it sucks.
All right. The production doesn't look the best. I'm not going to deny that.
No.
But I was watching it, and they were in the Shrine of the Silver Monkey, as always,
I remember.
and they couldn't figure out the monkey. Like, they couldn't piece the monkey together.
I remember. It was
And-
a common mistake by many
Yeah,
contestants.
that's the thing. That's why I was like, I feel like they're going to have little bits and pieces of, like that when they're going through the temple. Like,
Well, no, that's the point. They're taking all this nostalgia,
Yeah.
right? They're taking all these things that like people.
oh, they're basing it completely off nostalgia.
I know they're taking people who are like in their 20s are gonna.
Mhm.
They want to like watch this movie and be like, oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, Olmec. Oh, whatever. But it's still a movie
Mm-hmm.
aimed towards children.
Yeah.
And it's stupid because, like, it's like I don't know how to say it. There's just a problem with, like, their audience.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they want kids to watch it, but they're gonna make a butt ton of references.
Wait, hold on. People are walking close.
Yeah, people are walking very close.
Just
So,
gonna
like,
sit here.
I don't really know what to do about that. So, I might just whip out my
Yeah,
phone.
just pretend you're on your phone. I'm gonna be like sitting here waiting.
Be like, whatever, just scrolling through.
How's it going? Hi there.
Yeah, they're high.
Ha! Funny joke.
No, I just saw them smoking. Oh, no, they're vaping. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
God.
They're cooler than us. Anyways, so, like, and now they're staring. I'll stare right back at you. Where are they going? Oh, they're totally going to smoke weed in the baseball field.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm watching you. You keep walking. Anyways.
Just call public safety on that. Be like, hey.
That'd be hilarious. First day moving. Yeah, we saw some freshmen going to smoke weed in the baseball fields. Why are you sitting in a car?
You see.
And speed away. But anyways, they don't know who their audience is going to be.
True.
Because, like, if 20-year-old whatever watches this movie, they're not going to enjoy it for the plot.
They're going to be enjoying it for
or
the
the
nostalgia.
jokes or anything
And
like
honestly, that's why I'm going to enjoy it.
that. No, but it's not going to be good.
True.
Like, you're going to be like, oh yeah, I liked that. But then in between those references is just a ton of crap. It's, like, unenjoyable, like, childish jokes and just, like, boring themes that only, like, toddlers are going to enjoy. They're going to enjoy the movie, but all these references that they pack in, they're not going to get. So it's like nobody's going to legitimately like this movie.
All right, you're convincing me. I'm not going to lie, you're convincing me.
Exactly. So it's like...
But I plan on enjoying those moments. When they're stuck on the silver monkey, I'm going to be laughing saying, haha, classic silver monkey.
Right. But they should have focused on one audience. If they wanted the nostalgia factor...
They should have made it more adulty.
Forget the movie, just bring back the show.
True. That would
like,
also...
If they wanted to introduce Legends of the Hidden... Because the point is, they want to introduce Legends of the Hidden Temple to a new generation, and then also bring the old generation back and be like, man, I loved this show as a kid. That's what they want to do, but they did it wrong. They brought back the show itself...
I do agree. If they brought back the show itself, it would have been a lot more successful than the movie's going to be.
Yes, because both groups would be like, oh yeah, this is cool.
Oh yeah.
But instead it's split. Like, half the movie will be enjoyed by the older kids, the other half will be possibly enjoyed by the younger kids.
Yeah.
Because I felt the same way watching the trailer. I was like, oh yeah, Silver Monkey. Oh yeah, the temple guards. Oh, Olmec, steps of knowledge.
Steps of knowledge. Classic
This
Olmec.
stuff is great.
Bring back Kurt Fogg.
But everything else, where it's just the kids talking about the legends or, like, making some sort of fart joke or whatever, I was just like, dumb.
Honestly, my favorite part of the show was the steps of knowledge. I loved hearing the little, like, myths and stories and stuff.
Why?
I don't know.
That was literally the most boring part for me.
I just enjoyed it. I was like, oh, this is like a really cool, like, it's like just something randomly cool that I think.
I mean, everyone has their opinions.
Yeah.
But I thought it was boring. That part I was like, I get it. It's like a quiz part, a memory test, whatever, but I was just like...
Like, sure, the quizzing part, I'm just
boring.
like, whatever. But, like, the actual, when Olmec tells the story, I always enjoyed that.
No, I liked the
Temple Run
course stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Temple Run and the initial thing.
Oh, the initial crossing the river.
Yeah.
That was always funny.
Yeah. So yeah.
All right, before I go on to another like nostalgic-y topic,
go for it.
Do you want to rat on those kids?
Do you actually want? Because we don't know if they're actually gonna go smoke. Like, it's pretty obvious because it's nearly,
pretty odds are.
It's nearly 11 o'clock and they've wandered through like one of the farthest off parking lots from the rest of campus, and wandered into the barely lit baseball fields.
I mean, sure, we're also in this parking lot too, but we're here recording a cast pod
Yeah, so...
because I wonder if you could hear that.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if the recording picked that up, but a voice just started speaking, and it was the train tracks that were right next to.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, what on earth do you do at this late in a no light baseball field? But anyways,
All right.
I think they're fine. They're young.
They're
learn.
young. They'll be fine.
Yeah. So tell us about another nostalgia-y thing, because apparently that's where we're at now with this episode.
Yeah. I mean, 40 minutes in, we can only talk so much about college moving.
Yeah.
So, remember Hey Arnold?
Yes, I do.
They're making like a special
Right.
where Arnold finds his parents. He's going to be slightly older than the original series.
Right.
And it's just going to be like that.
That would be cool.
It would be cool.
I would watch that.
Because I believe it was, I think at least an hour special. Where
Right.
they went on they talked about the adventure of Arnold's parents. Probably best episode in that entire show.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Right.
Because it kind of provided a good bit of backstory that everyone wanted to know, and it had just little hints and pieces of funniness.
Yeah.
Like, granted, it was a little more serious-ish
True.
of an episode, but it was still entertaining.
I agree.
So they're talking about bringing back where Arnold and company go find his parents in the jungle. Which, as you know, there's already a Hey Arnold movie.
Yes.
I remember seeing this online. I cannot guarantee if it's 100% correct or not, but it was originally supposed to be about the Arnold finding his parents story.
Yeah.
But I guess I think it was the writer's strike or something like that. Something happened where the script got scrapped.
Right.
Or
Scrap.
at least put into a desk and now is being unlocked.
Okay.
So I'm just like, they already had their chance of doing this, but now they're doing it actually.
Yes.
I hope it's good.
I think it should be. I hope so too.
Because it's going to be one of those things where, because like, the way I'm looking at it now, it's going to be one of those things where I think they're bringing back the original people that did the voiceovers and stuff like that.
Right.
When you do stuff like that, it tends to be more nostalgia aimed.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
just like, you want it to be not like same exact thing as the show, but you want it to be very similar.
yeah, I mean, they're not gonna do it as like other things where they're introducing a new generation to it, because it's very story based.
Yeah.
And like, they're not bringing back the show. It's just a special.
It's just
so
gonna
like,
be a special.
obviously it's completely aimed towards the
Older
older
audience,
audience
yes.
that remembers it. So it's like, because there's a lot of, nostalgia in general. Like, there are a lot of things. There's that split, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where it's, we want the generation that used to watch this to come back and be like, man, good times.
It's just basically, we want the people
Or-
that are old enough to show their kids that it's like, hey, I used to watch this show. And it's brand new on the Nickelodeons.
Yeah, see, I don't think you were listening.
No, I
because
wasn't.
You completely cut me off.
Yep.
And
As always.
totally did not talk about what I just said.
Correct.
So let me try again, and maybe you'll hear this time. It's split into two categories, of which you let me say one,
Alright.
which is nostalgia-based,
Correct.
pointed towards the older audience to remember the good old days. The other is a revamp of an old show, so that the new audiences get to see this thing that used to be on, and then the older generation can be like, man, I remember watching this, but now my kids can watch it. See, what you did
was cut you off.
was completely cut me off and basically combined the two things that I was about to say into one. But whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
So thanks.
You're welcome.
But anyways, as I was saying, those are the two categories. And sometimes they work out, sometimes they don't. I can think of a couple examples of revamping an old series for a new generation that it didn't work out. One being Teen Titans.
Ah, that's actually, I wasn't thinking that one exactly. That is a very true one.
Yeah. They wanted to make it more for kids, and they wanted to bring back a really popular show. So, like, you know what? Let's make, like, a kid's version of this old show that people used to really like. I don't know if it's popular with the kids. I really don't. But, like, there's definitely no nostalgia for me there. I remember the old show, and
Hey,
I was
they're
like,
leaving
man,
the
it was
field.
great.
Sorry to interrupt, but the people are leaving the field.
I know.
Alright.
But thank you. Now everybody else knows as well that
How
they
to-
are currently leaving
Gotta
the field.
provide a play-by-play.
So, anyways, totally losing my train of thought, but I have it back. You're a jerk. But anyways,
I know.
so I don't get any nostalgia out of the new Teen Titans. It doesn't remind me
No.
of the old show. It doesn't, like, bring back any good memories because it's not good, in my opinion. I don't enjoy it. It's completely different art style, like, humor, just everything is just wrong, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Now, an example of a show that was more for the older audiences, I'll give one more, and then
No,
you
I was gonna
can
go off.
say yours.
I was gonna go off Teen Titans.
Oh, well, you can go off on Teen Titans.
All right.
You will have the
So,
floor.
original series. I could vouch for it. You could vouch for it. Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Really good. The Teen Titans Go.
Yep.
Failed attempt because Cartoon Network's gone on this trail of more kiddie-ish shows.
Yes.
Nice little fun fact is they have the same exact voice actors
Oh, I
as the
know.
original show.
I know.
So I'm like, if you're making all that effort to bring back the original voice actors, why are you doing this? Why
Yep.
aren't you making it like the regular Teen Titans?
Yeah.
Alright, continue on a nostalgia done right show.
No, still nostalgia done wrong.
Oh, sorry.
So instead of revamping an old show,
Mm-hmm.
instead, or like making it for a new generation, trying to bring an old show back to the old generation and be like, hey, remember these kids? Rugrats,
The All Grown Up.
all grown up.
Once again, not where I thought you were going.
I try to spice it up.
Thank you.
But yeah,
Keep it fresh.
I try to. But that was one where it was like, hey, everybody loved the Rugrats and like loved watching them as babies. Now that you're older, you can see them older and relate to that.
Yes.
It did not work
Not really.
because it was like a completely different show.
Sure.
Which I mean, it was
It-
kind of supposed to be, but like it didn't work out. Like it didn't make me think, man, I loved the Rugrats and now I can watch them as teenagers.
Yes.
I was like, this is just kind of weird. Like honestly, I don't care what they do with their teenage lives. I just cared about their misadventures as babies.
Yeah, because, like, honestly, them as babies, great time, because they would just do whatever.
Yeah.
When they got teenagers, it kind of got too real for Rugrats, I think.
Yeah.
Like, they had actual problems.
Yeah.
They just were, like, older, and it was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Because there was no time, like, there was no time when they were 3, time when they were, like, 7. It
Yeah.
was literally babies, teenagers. And it's just like,
Yeah, because it wasn't the same. Like,
mm-hmm.
they were more interesting as babies than they were as teenagers. Like, I didn't care about their problems as teenagers. I don't care that they're like, relationships, classes are hard,
Yeah.
Puberty. Like, I don't
I don't see
care.
that.
I want to see them ride Spike off into the sunset and, like, just I don't know,
just go on their
help Chucky tie his shoes.
yeah.
I don't know, just like stupid baby stuff that they did. That's what I enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
I mean,
I'm trying to think of.
I could think of some other things, but I also think we could also like cut it off here, and just make the next episode us complaining about nostalgia and things changing.
I mean, if you want, I don't really have any more ideas. So.
I have a couple things that I can think of bringing up.
All right. Well, maybe we'll end it here and we'll talk about nostalgia, and also before we start the next one, talk about other stuff because I feel like we might run out fairly quickly.
I have a solid let's see, I have a solid 3 things that I could decently rant about.
Still.
Yeah.
I don't know if 3 things will fill an hour, so.
We could just talk about cartoons and TV shows in general too.
All right. Well, there you go.
Right.
You just heard our.
You heard the planning process.
Our thought process now.
Yeah.
You didn't really need to hear. So we're gonna stop it. Thank you for listening to. I don't know. I really don't know why you would listen. This was supposed to be the college episode, and honestly, the most important talk was about Teen Titans.
Yeah.
So clearly, we wasted enough of your time.
Oh yeah.
And get excited for more cartoon talk in the next episode.
Nice. Miss.